Every single year, over 8 million children go missing. That's over 22,000 children per day. The second that we start paying attention to what's going on is the second that we start making real change. I have led or played a key part in over 70 undercover rescue missions in 15 countries. I have seen the darkest part of humanity, children being torn from their homes and put into a position of the unthinkable. I am Paul Hutchinson, entrepreneur, philanthropist, the executive producer of the movie Sound of Freedom, a movie that highlights one of the largest child rescue missions in history in Colombia over 10 years ago, where over 120 children were liberated and brought back to their families. One thing I have realized is that the only thing that creates real change is action. As I talk about in the Sound of Freedom book, my journey in helping people overcome childhood trauma and fight this kind of abuse goes all the way back to my younger years. Today we're here supporting the work of the government against the recruitment of the children into the guerrilla, into the cartels, because this happens a lot. Our family's passion is in fighting child trafficking and helping to liberate humanity from these challenges. In fact, we came together because of this work. My wife was a beautiful Colombian actress and we met in Haiti. I tell people meeting a beautiful actress is kind of cool, but when she's donating her time in an orphanage in Haiti, that's amazing. She is now the executive director of the Child Liberation Foundation, and we work together every single day to fight this evil and to liberate the children of the world. Over 10 years ago, I got a call from the Attorney General of our state asking me not only to help fund a child rescue mission, but more importantly, to play a key part in that mission. That was a phone call that changed my life. The defining moment for me, the first time I was on a child rescue mission, was when I was sitting on a chair and the traffickers had brought 54 children. 4 of them were virgins, 3 little girls, 1 little boy. I was sitting on a chair and they brought these children out, and them standing up was eye level with me sitting down. And all I could see was fear. As they brought this child in front of me, I made a commitment to myself, to God, to that child, that I was going to dedicate my life to eradicating that evil from the face of the earth. I have led or played a key part in over 70 undercover child rescue missions. Through the Child Liberation Foundation and others that we have helped to fund and start, over 7,000 victims are now back with their families. Also, through some influencers that were brought in to see the work that we were doing and their impact in helping to fund missions, almost 100,000 children are back with their families. Even bigger than that, the movie, The Sound of Freedom, over 70 million people have seen that film, and hundreds of millions of children are safer because of it. I've dedicated over 10 years of my life to fighting child trafficking. Today, the Child Liberation Foundation helps change laws and policies globally. We continue to fund rescue missions of some of my operators I've worked with in the past, but more importantly, our focus is on healing the children and on preventing this from ever happening in the future. The Child Liberation Foundation has created certification programs to help people identify what trafficking looks like. One of the undercover missions that I led was between Ecuador and Peru, and a massive organization was taken down because the medical personnel knew what to look for. So certification programs for doctors, for nurses, for educators, for parents who want to know what to look for so that together we can fight child trafficking. Many people leave our movie, Sound of Freedom, or will even read my book, The Sound of Freedom, and they'll say, what can I do? Why I want to make a difference? Well, the worst thing you can do is go to Mexico and go try to rescue children. You're going to get shot. You're probably going to get arrested. The best thing you can do is go home and hug your children. Why? Because the majority of children that are taken and moved to other places that are being trafficked in that way come from broken homes, runaways, a broken foster care program. So the more you can do to keep your family together, the better it will be to protect them from these horrific things that can happen in the world. With the global success of our movie, there are governments everywhere who are opening their doors to us, saying, what can we do? What can we do to keep the children safe? We are helping to change laws. We're helping to change policies. We are working with governments to take government land and facilities that have been confiscated from those who are breaking the law and converting them into safe houses for the children.
For years, I wondered how to change the system. And finally, it was clear to me. It starts with you. When you hear your fears, wounds, and insecurities, when you live in a state of consciousness and unity, healing begins to happen. Because when you transform, your vibration and your energy impacts the people around you. Unity is the action of compassion and action, where love and justice walk hand in hand. Many years ago, we found out about trafficking, and it was a devastating fact. Ever since then, my family and I have dedicated our lives and our hearts to combating this mission, because God's children are not for sale. Having understood that the children that for many years I thought their mothers were just being irresponsible and seeing them on the streets with lots of makeup and very sexy clothes, I used to judge until I found out what trafficking was and everything got connected. Today I understand that trafficking can happen to anyone and anyone can be affected because trafficking does not discriminate. With that knowledge in hand, we began to put all our efforts to dig in deep into where it comes from and what is causing it. And this is what has brought us to healing that inner child that lives within us, that child that was tortured or that has emotional traumas or that has traumas and emotions that never healed. Emotional Wellness Expo is a space in Miami, Florida, where we will guide you to achieve your goals. Heal past wounds and reconnect with your purpose. Freedom is not just about breaking visible chains. It's about healing the victims and breaking those invisible chains that were left by trauma. Join this collective force that stands for the well-being of our children who today live in the shadows of trafficking and fear. Because when our hearts align, change becomes an unstoppable fear. But if you do want to get involved and join this movement in protecting and loving our children, go to our page, childliberation.org, and look for the Get Involved program where you can be a freedom fighter, a volunteer, an ambassador, or healing hands of a liberator. We can use all the help that we can get. Come join us.
Liberating the world, one child at a time.